Hey everybody, this is Roberta Eastman from Home Buyers Inventory, and today we are going to bring you something that I hope inspires you to take action. Today we're going to be talking about mortgages for people with bad credit. This is Home Buyers Q&A number 54. And the most important factor that determines whether a person can procure a loan or not is the fact of whether past credit history is stable enough or not. All factors depend on past record of handling credit. For lenders and banks, a bad credit history implies that an application for a loan would be rejected and won't be granted from most lenders. And the worst part is, if the individual in their past has ever declared bankruptcy or had a foreclosure, the borrower would face even more difficulties when they try to get financing for the home mortgage purchase, because those are the types of things that the lenders look at. But one of the things that you need to take into consideration is, even if you had a bankruptcy or a foreclosure, the bank is going to look at what have you done since then. And that's what we here at Home Buyers Inventory look at. Life happens, whatever happened to get you there. It could have been divorce, job loss, a lot of reasons. But what have you done since life happened, since you declared bankruptcy or since you did the foreclosure? How have you handled new credit or new home, or how did you handle renting, as an example? So that's what lenders and even us look at when we're considering the potential application. But the myth that home loans are not available for people with bad credit history is just a baseless chatter. It's not impossible to find lenders who give out loans at reasonable rates and agreeable charges to people who have had a bad credit history. All a borrower needs to do is look around, talk to different mortgage brokers, and be persistent in looking out for such a loan. Now, when you are applying, you can talk. Well, let me back up a moment. When you're talking to the mortgage brokers, you can talk to as many as you want, and you should. Do not let them run your credit until you are ready and you know that they can handle your situation, because each time you let somebody run your credit, it's an inquiry, and inquiries make your credit score go down, which would be counterintuitive to what you're trying to do. You need to have the best credit score you possibly can have at the time you go to get your mortgage. So if you're going to have a lot of brokers looking and seeing what rate they can get you that would be best, you need to do it within a 30-day time period, because then the credit bureaus look at that as one inquiry versus all these separate mortgage and banks and all of those people looking at your credit. So you have to be ready to move and have the information quickly to the mortgage brokers so that they can all run them at the same time. And you, again, talk to several, but do it in a very short time period. So be ready to go when you start letting people run your actual background. And that means even if they're going to give you a pre-approval, or what they sometimes call a pre-qualification, if you're giving them your social security number, then please make sure you realize that they're going to run your credit. And that all has to be done within a very tight window so that it doesn't hurt your credit. And things that, as a borrower, you should be making sure you're asking about: lowest interest rate that you can get based upon your credit score, and what other terms are possible for you. A borrower with bad credit history and bad credit score, you should make sure that you send an application for loans to a number of different lenders. But again, you have to do it within a tight time frame, since it would be sensible for you to make a comparison between the different mortgage loan quotes and then be able to choose the best one. And you still have options, and I'm going to share with you what are your options until you can get your dream home, even with a history of bad credit. This is where people enter into our rent-to-own home program here at Home Buyers Inventory. Even if you have a history of bad credit and that bad credit has stopped you before, we are willing to help, and we're willing to help you get into your dream home. We have a tenant buyer who actually came to us just a couple of months after he was already in potential closing on a home. He was in escrow right at the end of it, and they told him that they weren't going to go through with it because he had a credit issue that showed up and they just weren't going to close on the loan. So he ended up coming with us, and you can actually see him on our website. He not only got into the dream home, he just closed on that home and bought it through our rent-to-own program. And again, I'll give you our website. You can go see him, and we'll give you some other insight as well. So the way that we help you get into your dream home is there's 5 steps to move in with Home Buyers Inventory. You know, and our hashtag says it all. We really do care for you and your family, and it shows in our hashtag of Move In with HBI. You know, and if you feel great about this content and the other content that you maybe have heard on the podcast, browse our website at www.homebuyersinventory.com to learn and read more about our rent-to-own home program. You've got all kinds of articles on the blog about how to get your credit to where it needs to be, or if you're self-employed, what you can do to make sure that you are ready as well, or even if you've relocated and you haven't had your job for 2 years. You'll be able to get tips on our website and our blog, so make sure you're reading that. Go and visit and watch the video, because you'll be able to see how Curtis was not only able to get into the house, but he was able to buy it as well. And we have all kinds of tips, whether you're renting, whether you're going to do a rent to own with us, whatever your situation is. We've got all kinds of tips on how to reduce water consumption and how much money it can save you, how to make your home more efficient so you're saving money on electricity. There's all kinds of tips there that you can get by reading our blog. So we will see you on the other side at www.homebuyersinventory.com.